we talk about? Show me what you got. Show me some golden things.
Yeah, the gold pulled back, retraced the move, and
Gold, the fib.
the 50%, the fib.
50 fib, yeah.
Of
The 61.
Is it going to hit it?
Hey, good morning, guys.
Morning.
Good morning.
Don't let me interrupt your conversation and your analysis. I just
Sorry. Hey, T, are you talking about from the previous high to low? Yeah, I can see that.
Yes, on the 15 minutes.
Yeah.
It retraced the move, and
This is my idea.
Yeah, Tarek, if this is what you're talking about here, so
Yeah.
I'll share. Am I sharing my screen?
From mornings from yesterday.
Yes, sir, you are.
Good morning, everyone.
13.
All right, market is open in 30 seconds, and like I said, don't let me and my analysis interrupt what you guys are talking about. But I think just to follow up on what Terry was saying, the way that I've been trading lately is looking at the last impulse move. So the last move was a selling move. So this is where I would start the fib, and I would end it where we started buying. This is my golden zone. This is where I start looking. However, I do not trade the first 15 minutes to 30 minutes. So this one I would skip just because obviously in the first 30 minutes, this thing could just spike up, and there's too much volatility that happens right at the open. And there's a lot of setups that will occur later. So Terry, I know that you do trade the open, and this is a good spot. Yeah, thanks for sharing. So we'll see what happens here. If I were to take it, it would be a short. It would be actually the way that I'm trading right now. It would have been a limit entry right below the 50. Stop would have been above the 61.8, and target would have been 3. So let's put it there just as what could have been. I did take 2 trades this morning. I took an M2K short on that exact what I just suggested. This was my entry right below the 50 when we started selling. This is where we reversed. I took a short at the 50, limit entry, stop right above the 61.8. I was stopped out by a tick or two right before it went to 3R. And then, what are we at now? Whoops, wrong one. Now it's an 18-hour trade. However, that's not how I would have traded it, but it could have worked. So that was a -1, and then this was a +3. Same scenario. Actually, I've moved this over here. Similar scenario, I should say, because I did not enter this on a limit entry. I was just eyeballing it. And once it gave up this area here, I entered with my stop above the 68, and I took profit at 3. I actually managed this one. I was aiming for a massive move, but once I was in over here, once it came back and retraced back to my 3R is where I got out. Had I left it at break even, this would be by now, because I'd probably be doing a trailing stop 25R. But that's okay. That's not how I traded. So that's me for pre-market. That's what I love about futures right now. It's what I love about the golden zone. +2, -1, +3. I'm +2 on the day right now. And that's okay. So I don't know if you guys are looking at anything else. I did not go through. Let's just look at it really quickly. So this morning we had PPI at 8:30. It was negative. So there it is on MES. There it is on MNQ. 8:30 was a big flush. It came in hot. Prediction was 0.5%, and it was 3 times that. So it's higher than the previous, higher than prediction. So inflation there. And then what else do we have here? We have crude oil inventories at 56 at 10:30. So anybody trading oil could have an impact on the market as well. 5 things to know. Second inflation report of the week due with April PPI. We just had it. Trump is in China with Musk and NVIDIA CEO Jensen. Senate poised to confirm Warsh as the Fed chair. So that'll be very interesting. We're done with Powell, and we'll start seeing what this new guy is going to do. And as far as earnings, I don't think there's anything. Well, Cisco could be interesting after hours. And this financial juice, whoever suggested this to me last week, I'm really enjoying it. I like that it comes in red. I think was it Brian that shared this? Whoever did.
There's a few of us talking about it.
Yeah. So I appreciate it, and it's good that I'm sharing it here. This is the free version. There apparently is a delay, but I don't know how long the delay is, because this came in very shortly after 8:30. So I like that it prints in red stuff that could be very interesting. And so yeah, I have it on screen all the time. What are you guys looking at?
I'm in a short on silver, the 100-ounce SIC.
SIC, let's look at it. And that gold call that you had right before the open. Good call.
Yeah.
That was a good call. Thank you for sharing. SIC, actually, I want to keep, I'm looking at this over here. I want to keep it in here. The fib is not pertinent right now. It's just chopping around here. Let me just put an alert if we do break above here on copper, or if we break below on copper. I want to start looking at it. Let's duplicate the tab, and let's go to SIC.
Hamza told me about SIC before, and comparing it to gold, it's much more rewarding. I can put bigger number of contracts than on gold. The maximum on the MGC, I get 3 contracts. On the 100-ounce silver, I tried up to 5. So Avi always talks about capital efficiency.
Yep.
So I took a short on it. It's a little bit slower, but it follows by the end of the day gold. I took a read on it also yesterday, but it's a little bit slower than gold. It follows gold.
Great. Thank you for sharing. So I just, as soon as I get to a chart, I like to see where the 50% retracement is. So it's broken up above the 50% retracement, but it put in this kangaroo tail right here. This is called a trend, just a teacher in me. This is what Naked Forex calls a trendy kangaroo. So the trend is going down. We pull up, we come down again, and then a trendy kangaroo comes out here and takes out liquidity right above here, and then closes down below here. This, according to Naked Forex, that's an entry. Conservative stop above the wick. The aggressive stop would be above the 61.8. And the way that I teach it, I aim for 3. Right? Over and over and over again. Right? And it happens more often than not. And oftentimes it'll get to 3.3, and then all of a sudden it retraces and it goes back. So from my testing, my back testing on futures, the 3 is working more often than not.
And looking also on the bigger time frames on the 30 minutes, if this one starts to break down, it have been consolidating through Asia and London. So if this starts moving down, the move will be really big on SIC.
Yeah, it could be. Yeah, that's thanks for sharing that. Let's put the sessions on there. So we're inside the Asia right now. If it does break down below pre-market low here, this could be very interesting. Let me just change something here. Something's going on with my microphone. There we go. I don't understand speaker. I don't understand why Discord is constantly changing the inputs of my microphone. Can you guys still hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for sharing. Yeah, Discord is constantly changing the inputs of my there you go. Thank you for confirming. Well, yeah, it changes the inputs. I have a Yeti microphone and I have an external speaker, but it just decides every once in a while to change it. So I don't like having these sessions on all the time. It's just too much information, but I do put them on there. And this is what I was looking at this morning when I was in that short. I wanted to see, can we stay below the Asia high? So this is where I was short. We came down below Asia high, but we couldn't sustain it. So I put a line there. Then once 8:30 or right before 8:30 hit, we came down. Now we are below Asia high on MES. I would be aiming for Asia low, which we just hit. At this point, this is a higher probability. Again, not telling anybody what to do. It's a higher probability that we start buying off of this level. Right? This was the low of Asia over here. Right? There was a level here yesterday. It is pre-market low. So this could be an interesting place if a setup appears to go long. Let's do this. Now that I've explained this, I'll take these drawings off. There we go. Now what I would do here, because we started selling over here, then we sold here, then we sold here, but we retraced and came all the way over here. This is where I would start my fib, and it coincides with the open. So over here, I would like to see what happens, because we're selling right now. I'd like to see what happens once we get into this 50 here. And if it happens in the next few minutes, I'm doing nothing. If it happens closer to 10 a.m. or right before 10 a.m., I might put a limit order short, and I'd be aiming for the low again. Right? So somebody that put in an order, and guaranteed there's a lot of people that put in orders to buy right at pre-market low, which coincided with Asia low. This M2K here is a little bit annoying, especially seeing where it went. But the zone, the 50% retracement zone or the golden zone, it is incredible how often it works on futures and stocks. However, if you look at something like this, right? This is NVIDIA. If I look at something like this, there's nothing to print here. This is just choppy nonsense, right? For the way that I trade, there's people, there's scalpers, there's the people that would take a short here because this is a kangaroo tail that took out liquidity above pre-market high. This is a short indication right here, right here. So there are people that would, but your stop would have to be way over here. Let's put it in here. Your stop would have to be way up there, and 3 is, in no man's land. Is way over here. So that's something that I don't trade. And I don't put fibs on this. Like I see nothing there. Something like this, I would put fibs on it. Right? Let's look at it in pre-market. This is where we sold. This is where we started buying. Where did it go into? The 50. From there, it sold off, made a new low. So where did it start selling off from? Right here. Where did it go down to? It went down to here. Where did it reverse? The 50. From there, it started selling. Where did it start selling? Right there. From there, where did it go? Went down here. Where did it continue selling? The 50. Interesting, isn't it? And now that the market is open, this is on SPY. Where did we start selling most recently? Where's the most recent impulse move? It's to the downside. Where did it start? Started right over here. Where's it reversing? I don't know yet. But for right now, this is the low. I'd be looking at shorting this area over here, especially if it can't make it above PDC. In a nutshell, that's my strategy. It's a break and retest, right? We broke down from this level, retested it, came down, broke down from this level. And that's why I love having these fair value gaps. It's a visual indicator that tells you who's in control right now. Sellers are in control. And the wider the gap, the stronger the sellers are. Then you can look at volume. You can look at the CVD. Right? Let's look at CVD. We're selling, right? But right over here, we started buying a bit. CVD during pre-market is very hard to read most of the times. But during the active RTH, it can definitely be a good tool. MNQ just hit PDC. Right, PDC and no, Asia low was a little bit lower. Let's look at the session here. Right, Asia low was right here, which is PML. Right, a little bit of divergence there between the NASDAQ and the SPY. But let's look at this. Let's take the sessions off. Right, we've been selling. Right, selling here, selling here. I did not take this. This on MNQ. No, I did not take this. I drew it, but it came up, rejected the 68 and sold. Let's take the drawings off. From here, we started selling. Look at this. From here to here, we started selling. Where did it retrace to? I'll give you one guess. And then a drop. However, this drop is on news. It could very well have gone the other way. So be very careful of taking these in pre-market when there's news at 8:30. And since the open, we started selling right at the open. I probably put it either above the wicks here. And again, it's not an exact science. But as far as the general area is concerned, we came over here. You know what? I wouldn't put it there anymore because we retraced and the most recent impulse move started right here. And I don't know where it's ending. But for now, it's still going down. So for now, I'm going to go over here. If you're in a short here, I would absolutely be targeting pre-market low. And sorry, Tony, I know that you were thinking about, I hope I didn't influence you, but you were saying you were thinking about going short in pre-market. It's, you know, trading this system works. I avoid it from 8:30, 9 a.m. until 10 a.m. because you can have some wicked moves in there. and they're just they're uncontrollable. SIC, this is very wicky. I don't like it. I don't know this product very well. Right, we would have been stopped out here. And this is just chopping around here. Copper, huge move over the last few days. Very large move. That's almost 1,000-point move from the lows of beginning of May. But now it's just chopping in a zone. Above here, I'd be looking at a possible rejection. So a wick and a rejection down to the low, and I'd be targeting the bottom of the area. And down here, if it were to come down here, I'd be looking for a rejection wick on the way down for a move back to the top. Again, this is not something I usually trade, so I don't know if I'd put an actual trade on this. MNQ, MES, M2K, MGC, MCH. Those are the 5 that I've studied a little bit more. MCL, just chopping around in here. MCL, you can expect a move in the next couple of days. There's going to be some news coming out of China that is going to move this market for sure. Which direction? I don't know. Be a billionaire if I did. There you go. So that's on gold. And now the market's open, and we did retrace. We retraced here. By the way, this trade would have made the 3R over here. Let's take this off. I would be redrawing. Where did the latest impulse move start? It started right here. Where's the bottom? For now, it's right here. I'd be looking to possibly get into a position over here. But there's something I don't like about taking a position right here. I'm going to play my teacher role. Does anybody know why I don't like taking the short right here?
The risk to reward is not very favorable.
With this, thanks for participating, Tarek. If I were to get in the 50 here, let's put the tool. I'd get in right before the 50. The stop would be right above the 61.8, right above it. And can I get to 3 before low of day? I can. Right? Thank you, Will. Getting in short there. PDC is right above it or right below it. And PML right below it. So this trade that I put in here, you've got right there, you've got support, right? Theoretically, we're going in above support here. So you've got support here and support here, right? So there's these 2 levels that you'd have to get through. So that's just something that I look at. I likely would not take this. And that's why I like having the PDC and the PML. Again, full disclosure, these aren't working perfectly yet. One of these days, I'll find an hour to finish updating my my script. I know that there are other scripts out there, but I like having my own. All right. But this on gold is a likely scenario, right? It could absolutely retrace into here and then reject the golden zone and move lower. I like that there's room to the left. Right? But the room to the left could also be a buying area. But be careful of that. Yeah, this silver is really choppy. For what I like to see, this is really, really choppy. The short from this area over here, there's definitely room to the left here. All right, there's room to the left there. But anywhere inside here, I don't see anything. Right, it would have to take out liquidity back at the top here. And I think that's part of the reason why we're just chopping around here. MNQ, okay, so we're retracing. So this was the low, and now we're buying. Well, we're right at the 50. What do I like about that 50? What do I like about right here? It's right at PDC. So if we come down on a smaller, I am on the 2-minute here. These are really big candles, by the way. So this is very volatile. It could go either way right now. So I'm hesitant. 953. But limit entry over here. Let's do this. Limit. Again, I've saved these and I have to click on these all the time. And this is supposed to be on risk. Let's put some fun numbers on this one. $1,000 risk. Good thing I didn't put it on. There it goes. There it goes. And I'm not going to continue playing around with it. So this is one, because of the large candles, these, I would be hesitant in putting it on. Right? It's still early. The first half hour hasn't closed. But I mean, if it doesn't go above the 61.8, I might come back to it and show, you know, okay, no, there you go. I would have been stopped out here. Just got an alert on here. So we've punched. We haven't gone above, but my alert was right above here. So pre-market high. I'm curious to see what happens on copper at this level. Hamza, you were saying something earlier and I missed it. Yeah, Musk and Trump apparently are friends again. First target on MES. The next big one could be yesterday low. Hamza, are you still in? I cut half the position. I don't know what you guys were talking about pre-market, but I think you guys were short MES. MES, this was the start of the latest impulse move to the downside. This would be a short entry at 74.17. Limit. Short sell. Stop would be above the 61.8. The entry would be at 74.17. There you go. This is a paper trade. Right? We are selling. We are lower below the Asia. Actually, right now we're above Asia low. But let's just put it in. Let's see what happens. Do I get filled over here? And yes. $74.16. I might take this 74.16 over here, be a market order. Let's see what happens here. So this is interesting here on MES. Definitely not ideal because we are above Asia low, pre-market low. This is a bullish candle. It's a bearish candle, but it's turned into a very large hammer. And then the next one over here broke that high. And then the following candle broke that high again. So we're making new highs. But the move is there are more sellers than there are buyers. What does CVD look like? CVD. So what I'm looking at here is the candles are going lower. And then green candle. All right, so there's no real divergence here between what we see in the price candles and the market orders. on the CBD. The thing is with limit orders and stops like this is that you have to be very confident in your system, because once it triggers, it could spike up and take out the stop right away. And this is a pretty tight stop, even though it's, what is it, 5-6 points away. Did not get filled. Why is that? Let's just see. It's a paper trade. So even though this candle printed red, doji indecision candle, on the CVD, it printed as a hammer, as a green hammer. I'm liking the price action right now for the, and it's not a prediction. If I'm wrong, I don't care. It's not I'm just putting in this this order here to really demonstrate what my strategy is right now. And it works more often than it doesn't. And yesterday, MNQ, wow. MNQ was like 3 in a row. Just kept on going down, 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 and giving different entries. So I had a couple winners on MNQ yesterday. So the disadvantage to the short from the 50 here is that we do have pre-market low, which is Asia low. I think. Is it Asia low? Yeah. Right below it. There's a short. There's the entry that it should have been triggered. There's a stop. And there's a 3. There we go. Wow, that's loud. Well, there you go. There's a limit entry. Stop above the 61.8. And now that I'm in, I see what happens. And I put the size at 1,000 just to demonstrate that the size can be $10, $100, $250, $500. It doesn't matter, right? If your size is massive, then you're probably not going to get filled. That's the thing with this, is that if we go with volume, right at this candle right here, 11,000 contracts were transacted. At this candle, 36,000 contracts were transacted. But it's in pre-market over here. Right? If you want to go huge and sell right over here, right at the top here, 1,000 contracts were transacted. So it's when volume is light that it's hard to get in with large size. But you can go into ES, right? Which is what major players will do. They'll trade the ES. Anybody involved in anything right now? Any stocks moving? Spies chopping around here. Views. Very difficult to take this. MES going against me right now. The other entry method that I've used is a 2-minute wick in here that rejects. And then entry after the close of a bearish candle. What are you saying here? Let me. Somebody's talking about GG, no, GOO, yeah, Google. Google, I don't see anything here. GGLL, I think is, yeah, the GGLL. So Google is at 392 per share. This is a 2X ETF on Google, so half the price. Very, very similar price movement. MES, what are we doing? Chopping around the golden zone. It is after 10 a.m. which is generally where I start looking a little bit more seriously and actually taking a trade. I will likely not take one because I am green on the day, being -1 +2 according to my my rules. I should not take another trade. I don't follow them all the time, but I do have other engagements today, so I likely will not take another one. Let's see what happens with Google here. What's going on with gold? Gold's just chopping around this area. The short position that we talked about from the initial golden zone, we're still in it. Have not reached the goal yet, but have not been stopped out either. Oil making new highs. Right, so now that oil has broken out of a resistance zone with momentum, another one of my my strategies would be the break and retest. So does it break out? Does it come back and retest this area? So I would put an alert right above the area just to start looking at it and see what the price action looks like when it comes down. You can also put a fib on it right? From where the high is right now, this might change, or it's changing right now, and coincides with the breakout area, right? To measure and move, gone from here to here. These are identical moves from the low to here, right? 50% above, 50% below. I do know that there is a strategy as well to short it from here, right? Because this is possibly where, and it's not a strategy that I've ever used, but to try to short back into the retest area. MES going in my direction. Take the CVD off. We're making new highs on CVD, and we're still under zero, so the bears are still in charge right now. Let's see what happens. Can we print a bearish 2-minute candle? And can we break that bearish 2-minute candle? Still not a bearish candle, right? There's that wick at the bottom here. What does a 1 minute look like? Yeah. This is, it's looking bullish to me. But now that I'm in the trade, I'm not touching anything. Unless news came out, you know, and you can get the news quickly enough that you think is going to be bullish. But even then, -1. Right? This number shouldn't matter. It should be a number that you're comfortable with. Avi was talking about percentages. I just read this morning, right? Percentages of your account. That's a good way to do it. What that percentage is different for everyone. It seems to be a little bit of selling pressure here.
Gio,
Yes, so hello.
hey, it's Tony. You might also want to reset your fib on crude. You just made a new high.
Yep, hang on a second. I don't have the proper window open here. Where's the Google Meet? There it is. And like this. Okay, crude. New high. I would leave the start there. There you go. Right. Yeah, and this one's a little bit hard to determine where to start, right? We started buying, but then we just chopped around. So the real buying started right over here. So this I would not feel confident in putting a limit order on this one, right? When it's not obvious, I'll look at the area, right? I'll see, and I'll see if it's respected, right? But for now, this could be the beginning of it, or the beginning of the retest, or sorry, the breakout, which was right here. But for now, I think I'll leave it here. I'll see what happens here. Like I said, no limit order, no, because I do not have confidence in it. When you have a level like this, let's go over here. When you have a level like this, this is obvious that this is where we started selling, and the low is right here where we started buying. Something like this, I absolutely have confidence in. And this one would have been stopped out, right? I did not take this one with a limit order. I actually, or is it this one? Yeah, it was this one that no, this one I got stopped out with a limit order. This one I managed myself. So I entered actually above the, or right at the 61.8 when it rejected here. But just coming back to the fibs, this fib I feel very comfortable in. This one, not so much. Because of this, it's not obvious where the buying started. Did it start here? Did it start here? Right. So this one I don't feel as comfortable with. What's MES doing? Oh, getting very close to my stop. But as for now, not stopped out yet. And with a system like this, you have to be okay with losing half the time. Right? Because there's nothing out there that wins 100% of the time. And if you're fixed, as long as you don't, you know, $1,000 risk one trade and 5,000 on another and 100 on another, then that's incredibly difficult to get consistency like that. But if you're fixed, if let's say it's $100 every time, you lose 100 when you lose 50% of the time, and you make 300 when you win 50% of the time, that's a profitable strategy. And they're going to get stopped out. Don't know, and I can't control it. And what time is it? 10:15. I'll stay on for another 10-15 minutes. And I just got stopped out of MES. Silver. Yeah, silver, this thing didn't do anything. MES. Or did I get stopped out? I don't know what that alert was. It wasn't in anything else. It's too loud. So there you go. Now I'm stopped out. And watch it reverse right after the stop. That often happens. And if anybody's just joining in, this was a paper trade, right? When you saw the minus 1,000 here, right? Zero emotion. It was just an example. Did not close. So I wanted to share that I would get rid of the fib. Right? If the fib doesn't work, if it's proven that the golden zone was breached, then I'll get rid of it. However, my rule states that if we don't have, I like the 5-minute, if we don't have a 5-minute candle that closes above the 61.50, then we're still in it. I got to make the wicks a little bit thicker because I know they're hard to see. Here's a bearish candle right after taking out the stop. There's a break of the low of the bearish. The stop was 21.75, and the high of the candle was 22.25, so 52 ticks away. Right, or from 61.50, it's 1 point away. MCL breaking the highs.
Gold seems like it will take another leg down.
So gold, thanks for sharing, Tarek. Gold, this was the fib this morning. We put in a paper trade. It did not hit target yet. Came back, retraced, making lower, this is on the 5-minute, making lower highs. Right? So I like your analysis. We might be continuing down. It's rejected the golden zone again. Right? And these trades often work quickly, but sometimes they don't.
It's not working that much because we have a level at 46.80.
46.80. Yeah, pre-market low, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what I'd said, right? I'd said that I would not take this one personally because there's support right below the 50 and support right below that. However, we've broken it twice now. So if we can stay below here, and I like the fact that on a 5-minute, we just put in a 5-minute fair value gap, which means that on this big bearish candle here, there are a lot of sellers. Right? But if the way that I do it, if I put on this trade, especially if it's after 10:30, I'll put it on, then I walk away. I'll put an alert. Let's say I was in this trade. I put an alert just down here, and I'd put one over here. There you go. So that's my pretend trade, but and then I would be out doing something and get an alert. Oh, gold broke the high, so I'm stopped out, or gold broke the lows. I just made 3R. I'm going to take them off now. Here we go. And actually, I'll leave the, I'll look at it later and I'll share it tomorrow if you guys are going to see it. It's likely to hit target at this point. Right? Might not happen right away. It's more likely than not to hit my target than to go and retrace and take out my stop. Again, not a prediction. It's chopping around here. My target isn't, down here. My target is before or above low a day. So let's put it back at 3 right there. I'm just going to go on a shorter time frame with that entry. Yeah. That's the bottom there. That's the entry. This would be a little bit closer, and that would be a little bit closer. Yeah, we likely would have. Yeah, we would have been very, very close to get it here, right? The entry would have been at the 50, stop right above the 61.5.8, right here, right above it. I don't like having it right on it. I like having it a point or two above it. And this on this candle right here, and again, you have to be incredibly precise. I like being very precise with these because they're very well respected. I likely would have taken 3R right here. It probably would have worked. What's MES doing? Oh, MES broke the highs. So there you go. Good thing I was only -1R. Right? If I had moved my stop thinking, you know what, it's going down, let's move the stop. Well, right here, I'd be down 2R. you know, and at that point, when you start moving stops, that's where everything falls apart. And now that we've broken out of the fib, the golden zone, and closed above it, I get rid of it. And I start reassessing. I start going, okay, are we buying? Right? Well, we didn't really start buying here. We're just chopping around. But I'm going to see, are we getting a repeat of yesterday? You know, this was a massive move yesterday. And look what happened once we started buying. This is where we started buying. Right around here. Did not give an entry, right? I'm just going to put it here. This would have been the entry. So from there, where did we start buying? We started buying right here and made a new high there. Did not give an entry. Right, so on the way up, it didn't give the entries. Oops, did I just delete something? On the way up, it did not give the entries that it gave on the way down. And again, it doesn't work all the time. This bull market is incredible. We just want to make new highs constantly. MCL is interesting. MNQ is interesting. MNQ has also broken out of the golden zone. Therefore, I get rid of it. Where do we start buying? We started buying right at BDC. Over here, put a fib, and not quite sure where I'm going to stop it. There was room to the left from the bottom over here. This is really choppy over here. And on the way up, there's a lot of resistance possible. So I'm not confident in taking a long here. So like I said, I probably will not be taking any more trades. And if there are no other comments or questions or stuff that you guys want to share, I'm going to be cutting out in a few minutes. And by the way, this is not the only strategy. I mean, there's the break and retest, right? You look at levels, 4 hour, 1 hour, whatever. And I want to see what does it do at these levels. There's a lot of lines in here. I'm making learning material, so please just ignore it. Yeah, I'd be curious to see what happens at the highs again. Right, we're chopping around, having a hard time here, having a hard time pre-market yesterday, having a hard time at the top. So this is where we really started selling off. So I would set an alert above here, right, to start looking at it, because this is where we rejected yesterday. And what I'd be looking at is a possibility of selling again or a breakout and retest. So that's what I'm going to be once I disconnect here. I'm just going to set a couple levels and a couple of alerts, and then, you know, go do something else. So anyway, with that, it's very close to 10:30. So I don't know if anybody else is jumping on. I know the room remains open. So if you guys, obviously, you know that you can continue. Please don't hesitate to talk when I'm on. You know, I'll just keep on talking unless you guys say something. Thank you for doing this every day. It really helps hearing your thought process through your trades and strategy. Thank you, especially for the beginner like yourself. That's what I concentrate on. I work, been a high school teacher for many, many years. So I teach beginners. I'm good at teaching these beginner concepts. And Avi is advanced. He teaches more advanced players and then more advanced moves. So if you guys have any beginner questions, don't hesitate. This is the place to ask them. Okay, so with that, I'm going to cut out. Have a great day, everyone, and I'll be back tomorrow. All right, cheers.